Hey everybody, Gail Craft here, and welcome to the Empowering Process podcast. Today, my guest is Jonas. Anne is the founder of a company called The Lotus Path, and that company or she works with people going through the muck and the mire in order to come out the lotus flower. But we're going to talk to her today about truth from within. So join me in welcoming Anne Jonas. So, welcome. And so, I told everyone that we're going to talk about truth from within. What do you think about that?
I believe that well, actually, it's funny. Believe. I'm surprised I even said that word because you know what the word belief has in it? The word lie.
Ooh,
So that's a great way to kick this off. So, honestly,
yes.
what I think is really what I feel, and the truth is how I feel.
Ooh, let's go there. Let's go there. I just finished having a lengthy 2 meetings discussion around this very topic. And the reason why I'm kind of hesitating, I'm trying to express this in a way that isn't too woo-woo for the people who are listening, or maybe I should just go there.
Well, guess what woo is? Guess what? I figured this one out. Check this out. This is going to be fun conversation. Wizard of Oz.
Yes. Another lie, by the way,
I know.
because we are it. It is not woo, it's who we are. So the conversation was about the fact that um, we confuse loyalty with love.
Ah,
That's how it started, right? And
interesting.
yes, and where this kind of ran to, it's as within. And so loyalty, when you're loyal, it doesn't feel right within.
Well, because you often loyalty talks about loyal to outside, loyal to a system, loyal to a relationship, loyal uh to the country, to your own patriotism. Like being loyal, here's the thing. If you're not loyal to self and God,
That's
whatever you
where we
call
ended.
God. I mean,
That's
we've
where we
talked about
landed.
this before.
We are
God,
God,
it
by
can
the
be
way. We are
mystery
God.
universe. We are God. Absolutely. Absolutely. We are God. And we are in the realm of let's see here. I'm coming back. Okay, there we go. Had a little computer malfunction moment. Handled it because, hey, loving it all, right? That's the thing. Love the now moment. We are God. We are an expression of God.
I have an external noise going on. One moment. So anything external, anything
Nothing ever
external.
happens out of alignment. Everything is here as an expression of what we are experiencing. So I was actually having a beautiful conversation today too about, I was talking with my friend and she's like, well, how do you handle what's going on in the world? And here's the thing, what's going on in the world is a reflection of what's going on within. And that's empowerment and that is sovereignty.
Sovereignty. People are so willing to give that up and don't even realize it.
Absolutely.
And that's where control can take place.
Hmm.
Control cannot take place if I'm coming from pure love, if I'm making choices from my heart in alignment, not from egoic love, not from control love, but from divine love,
Hmm.
then the choice is always going to be perfect.
Absolutely. Well, this
And
is the other thing, everything is perfect. I mean, there's nothing ever really wrong. I mean, that's a place
that's another lie.
to trust from. Yeah.
Hmm.
There's no failure. There's no
Hmm.
wrong. If you're willing to say, I am here to exist, to learn, grow, evolve, and experience. There can be no failure and no wrong.
Right. And when you accept full responsibility, because now you're asking me to take accountability for my experiences, good, bad, and indifferent, right? And believe me, I had huge flack on this very subject a few weeks ago. Huge flack, right? I was screamed at and yelled at. This woman was spitting. She was yelling so much, right? Because I believe I created this experience of mine. I created it. Yes, I created the stories that I've heard. I've
Mhm.
created the horrors that I get to see.
Yes.
But I've created the trees and the birds and the flowers and the love. I've created the contrast in order for me to feel emotion.
Yeah. We've created everything. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a concept that is actually empowering.
Yes.
It's to recognize that we chose to be here. We incarnated into this human form that includes the DNA, the genetic line, the ancestral stories. Did we talk about this? History. Hi, story. Hi, story. Right? Because it's all a story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the thing. We get to choose how we not only that we're here and that we are creating everything, but we get to choose to trust in that.
Trust enough. We get to choose to live in love or live in fear.
Absolutely. That's the foundation of it. Talk about
Right.
loyalty. I mean, loyalty really is about faith. Guess what faith is? An acronym. Face all in the heart. So faith is really recognizing that you are the one that's choosing, being, acting, breathing,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. It's all right here. I mean, that's where Toltec wisdom and Don Miguel Ruiz, the Four Agreements, talks
Mm-hmm.
about you're the star of your show. If you're the star of your show, everybody is a supporting actor,
And I get to write them in or write them out. I'm the star, I'm the writer, I'm the director, I'm the art,
all of
right?
it.
I'm the makeup artist. I am
The
everything.
choreographer, because we're
Yes.
dancing through life.
Yes. 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 We are. Yes, we are. Right. And our soul is loving every moment of it,
Absolutely.
right? Because we chose this. And I gave someone an example about how so my soul realignment, let's back up. Soul realignment. My soul is love and I'm a seer. I mean, truth and I'm a seer.
Mhm,
I cannot lie. I
mhm.
I cannot lie. Right. I grew up in a family of secrets and lies. Now, understand that I had ulcers by the time I was 12 because of that, but also I am here to forget who I am so I can go on the journey, the quest to discover who I am.
To remember, to
That's
remember.
that's
Well,
the awakening. That's the remembering. So by putting myself, I put myself in a family of lies. Why would I do that? So that I could experience myself as truth.
well, I'm going to take it one step further because whatever people's stories are about their childhood, the deal is if you're in this space, if you're listening to us, if you're having these conversations, if you're in an awareness, then you recognize you are the light or an aspect of it, or you're coming into it. You have this awareness. The deal is that those of us that are the light, and everybody is, everybody has the capacity for it. But
Hmm.
when you're
Hmm.
having these conversations and you're like, I feel like a black sheep, or what I love to call rainbow unicorn, I'm a rainbow unicorn. We all chose the darkness because it's nourishing for growth.
Yes,
So when
that
you
is the
look at
mud
it,
with the lotus flower. Hmm.
exactly,
Yes.
absolutely. And it's also, You can't, I mean, it's daytime right now here when we're having this conversation. We can't see the stars right now. As soon as it gets dark is when we see the stars.
Hmm.
Remembering that the light comes through the darkness. So, not to judge your family who was full of darkness and pain, but to thank them for being the nourishment, the soil, right? Seeds that live on the
Being the
surface.
soul that chose that role for you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. I have a friend who made this comment, and I use it all the time, and I thank her for it. When I shut the light off and I'm in the dark, I can't see where I'm going. But if
Mm,
I wait a minute, my eyes adjust.
absolutely. Yeah.
And that's the foundation of the work I do is the dark night work,
Hmm.
right? Now, I'm not going to switch the light. I will not shine the light in the corner for you.
Right.
I
That's
don't
what,
want the light. I will stand beside you and I say, I will walk with you through the valley of the shadow of death. Fear no evil because I am with you.
well,
But
that's where
you
trust
walk.
comes from.
You walk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Well, that again, it is disempowering to carry somebody.
Yes. Because they
And
don't get their lesson.
right. And that a healer is not somebody who does healing. I mean, yes, there are people that Jesus was a healer. We talk about healing in these forms, but essentially, a healer is one who facilitates the space for one to heal thyself.
Self. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. When I do a healing, and it's rare that I do it and usually get a message from the universe, you're going to do this, and I'll have an argument and then do it.
We
It's like,
argue
you
with
want me to
God
do
all
it?
the time, don't
Yeah,
we?
all the time, right? So, um, I will get three confirmations from the person.
Mm,
So you want me to take that pain away? Yes, please. So where is it? And you would like me to heal this? Yes.
mhm.
So together we're going to work on this to get this out of your body. Yes. Three yeses. Guess what? I'm not healing you by that point. You've just told your body three times, yes, I want to heal you.
Well, and the final question is we're going to do this together. I mean,
I
that
said, do
is
this
it.
together,
Yeah. Yeah.
and am not taking it on. I do say
Yeah.
I'm not taking this on. We're going to throw it away,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Well, again, I had cut you off, and so
No,
I'm
no,
gonna.
that's good.
I mean, we're both so excited. We get so yeah. But here's the thing: I desire to reiterate this. Trust is the path, and guess what word is in trust? Us. So again, the idea of trusting is recognizing that you are one with divine source.
Right,
Trusting in that is trusting in yourself. I
right,
I feel like this is a big part of uh our world. We have these pillars that we've been indoctrinated into, we were born into. Like the word understanding. What are you standing under? Like
right,
you're standing under
right.
like the stories and the books and the
Well,
teachings.
it's like the Friends episode. You're over me. You're over me. When were you ever under me?
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So it's within, it's inner standing. Is I changed that word to inner standing.
Right.
So inner standing and recognizing that we have given away our power. It started with the parents, then the education system, the church or religious structure, the
And on and on.
government, and then we've got medicine. I don't consider that health and wellness. That's a
That's not health and wellness. That's
no, it's
drugs
medicine.
and
It's drugs,
confusion. Mhm.
pharmaceutical drugs and confusion. I've never heard that before. That's
That just
great.
came out. The universe chose that.
Oh, I'm going to remember that one. But the thing is, what that's all saying is that right there, we give away our power. We
Hmm.
say, I trust in what you're telling me to do and be.
And I don't have to take any responsibilities for the result. In fact, if it doesn't work, I'm going to sue you
Exactly. That's
because I
exactly.
don't have to take any responsibility for anything in my life.
Yeah.
Right. Um, oh, we can go down a rat hole there.
Did you say rat hole?
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. I know rabbits are cuter than rats, right? In
Well, I
general.
am a rabbit.
Okay,
The
well, there we
Chinese
go.
year, I'm the rabbit.
So if we go down a rabbit hole, we're hanging out with you
You're hanging out with me. I'm the white rabbit. Yes. With the watch, right?
and the smiles.
And the smiles. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, so this whole it's an inside job.
Yep.
And that I think frightens people more than anything. And part of the conversations that I've had today, one of the things that came up was, "Oh, I resisted. I was a flaming, if you knew me at 20, 30 years old, man, you would not like me. I didn't like me. Truly. When I started doing the inner work,
Mhm.
it was frightening. I did not want to face it. I can remember thinking, I don't want to know what's in there. I don't
Yep.
want to go there. But I also knew I had no choice, that I was trapped if I didn't. And now, because I went through it and I survived. I did it again, went through it and I survived. I not only survived, I thrived, right? And now sometimes it's a nanosecond, like whoop, whoop, I'm in and I'm out
Yeah.
because I don't resist.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, ooh, change is happening again. Here we go. And I'll post on Facebook, hello, darkness, my old friend. And
Yes.
I'm going through it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, again, celebrating the darkness,
Yes,
recognizing also it's a game life. Beyond the board game, right? I mean, we're talking like it is a game, this life. And even beyond that, that game, it's an amusement park. It's a series of roller coaster rides. And here's the thing, put your arms up. I used to say, put your seatbelt on. No, we say no seatbelt, arms up. I was telling my daughter that, and she's like, but you're going to die. And I'm like, we're going to die anyway. I
no,
can guarantee one thing about this life. You're going to
it's
die.
going to end,
Exactly.
right?
That's it. That's the only thing I
Right.
can guarantee.
And there also is a lie. We're going to wake up
Mm,
100%. You know, um, I've shared a few times the fact that and maybe not on a podcast, so maybe this is the first time on a podcast. I can remember as a child knowing this was not real,
mhm,
and knowing that this was an illusion as a child,
mhm.
and having palpitations because I couldn't find real,
Yeah.
right? And I knew that no one, if I had said this to my family, they'd have me put in a straitjacket and put away, right? There was no way I could talk to anybody about what I was feeling, right? And there's so, like, I knew that wasn't my family. I knew, like, maybe I'm a gypsy or something, and someone left me at the door. I just knew this wasn't my family, but I couldn't figure out where I came from. That knowing is something that goes away, supposed to go away at about 3 weeks, 3 to 6 weeks. And mine stayed open. It stayed open. And so, now, I mean, I know where I came from now,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And I know that I am observing me. And I know, so this is, I'm exploring the multiple dimensions now, right? With dragons. So that's a whole other story. Um, and I know that I exist in this moment in all of the dimensions.
Absolutely. Well, that's the oneness. We're one with everything and all time. There is no time. It's only now, and
It's only
everything
now.
is now. You know, it's
Everything is now.
interesting you brought up, yeah, everything is now. Well, here's the thing. I think I might have said this last time. NOW, right? When you flip that word, it's WON. So when we're here
Yes,
now, we've won and
right,
we're one with everything, ONE.
right.
We own it, OWN. Like this idea of really back to empowerment, back to trust, back to
Sovereignty.
accountability, back to sovereignty. Exactly. You know, there's a story, and I heard it first from Wayne Dyer. about and I wrote about it in the first, in the book, the recent book chapter I published in Sacred Connection. The family, the couple that has a kid, right? And then they have another kid. So you got the baby and you got the 4-year-old. And the 4-year-old says, "Hey, mom, dad, I want to talk to my, baby sibling here." And they're a little bit nervous because, they don't know what, 'cause wants to be alone, right? So they listen outside the door. And what does this kid say to the baby? "Tell me about God. I'm starting to forget."
Yes.
So you talked about 3 weeks. In essence, it's really about 4 or 5 years, which interestingly enough is when we go to school. When essentially kindergarten starts at about 4 or 5 years old. So there's this, like, the minute that the veil is sealed and the amnesia is in full form is when we then get into the indoctrination
Of understanding,
of education and understanding. Exactly.
right? Right.
Yeah.
When I work with clients, I spend a lot of effort on breaking the understanding need,
Right.
right? Because that is another deflection of, right?
Absolutely.
Every time we attach a story and we try to understand, or whatever BS that you put on it, you're deflecting and you're creating resistance, which is why it hurts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, that's dis-ease. I mean, that's the
Mhm.
thing. Like the essence of dis-ease is being out of alignment with self, with the
Dis-ease.
trust, dis-ease. Yeah, I don't say disease anymore. It's dis with a dash, dis dash ease,
Yeah.
because it's really speaking into being out of ease. Like our natural state, even though the irony of how we come onto this planet is through a lot of pain. I call contractions, like in the realm of like uterine contractions, and
Hmm.
I gave birth. It's can be painful. I'm air quoting that. Birth hugs.
Hmm.
Contractions are birth hugs. And we have them throughout our life.
Right.
We are constantly moving through state of contraction and ease and expansion, contraction and expansion.
Yep.
Exactly.
Right. And that's the back in the days when I was a coach, because I'm not a coach anymore, but when I was a coach, I would talk about change happens with the like an elastic. You want to
Mhm.
stretch it a little bit and then let it relax, and stretch it a little bit and let it relax. Because if you stretch it to where you want to go, it's going to snap.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why sometimes we feel like this is coming up again. Well, it is, because you've only gone this far and then you relaxed, and then now you're able to go a little further and you relax, and then you go a little bit further and you relax, right? I had an issue come up yesterday that I didn't even know existed. So I was working, because I still, we all have to go to healers, right? I'm
Yeah.
not walking on water yet, right? And and this woman's amazing. She works with the pendulum. She goes, "Oh, what's going on with?" And I'm not going to, bring my family into this, but um, so there was a connection. And she says, "This person was with you for 11 past lifetimes," because she's counting how many? One, two, three, four. I'm like, "What's going on?" And she goes, 11, 11 lifetimes this person was with you, right? And in the last one, this person was your oppressor,
Hmm.
and part of that is still hanging on. Even
Hmm.
though we have an amazing relationship and care about each other, there's this something, and so we dealt with that something, right?
Well, soul contracts. I mean, and
Yeah.
we really, there's a lot to be spoken into around having soul tribe and traveling with people for multiple expressions and
Hmm.
often sort of trading off in being good guy, bad guy, right? I mean, the whole point here is to learn and grow and evolve.
Hmm.
And honestly, we do that mostly through the uncomfortable experiences in our life.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that an easy peasy life is something less than. I'm not saying that. We're all here. We're all having, I mean, a rock has its own experience as be in as the, I mean, Earth.
Every time it gets pelted by water, it's having an experience.
Absolutely. Or somebody picks it up and takes it away or throws it. Exactly.
Oh, let me paint you. I was like, what?
You made me paint you.
I
Oh
don't
my
want
God.
I don't want this
I never even
color.
thought about that. All the painted rocks that get moved around. I never thought about that. Who said you could paint me?
Right.
That's funny. That's funny.
One of the ahas, and I call them ahas, I guess, because it's when I go from understanding to integrating, and
Yeah.
the aha is like, oh, right, like my whole body like steps into the knowing, right?
Yeah.
And the knowing was, okay, I know that I'm connected, that I am part of the universe. I also am part of Gaia. I
Mm-hmm.
created Gaia as well.
Mm-hmm.
So and the Gaia's consciousness is talking to me after that. So I'm on a road trip right now. I'm in San Diego. I've
Okay.
gone across the country about a month and a half, 2 months now. And I spent some time at Devil's Tower
Mm-hmm.
and driving through Utah. Lucky people who live there.
Mm.
Um, and at one point, I literally saw a mountain shaped like a dragon blowing fire. And I looked
Mm.
away and I looked back. I went, no, Gail, you're just seeing things. I looked away and I looked back and said, no, that's a damn dragon. How can people not see? It was fully formed,
Yeah.
fully formed. I'm like, okay. So, and I saw, as I walked by rocks that look like dolphins or dragons or whatever, I would touch them and whisper, wake up, honey,
Mm.
right? Asking them to wake up. At one point, going from Utah to Colorado, because I swear the mountains were breathing
Mm.
and I could hear them talking so quietly,
Mm.
right? And this is why I love road trips because I get into such a Zen state that I can connect with everything around me. And it is so beautiful.
Well, that's it. You're getting out of your mind and you're
Yeah,
being with what is, I mean, Gaia, Mother Earth is a consciousness.
it is definitely.
Right? We're all consciousness relating to each other as consciousness, as one consciousness. And I get it that it's important to respect Mother Earth. I get that. And she chose to be Mother Earth. Right? So it's like, again, back to sovereignty. She chose to be the one that had people crapping on her, so to speak,
Right?
right? Disrespecting her, and to handle that. And
I
this
actually,
idea, the
go ahead.
fire, fire is incredibly serving as part of the cycle of life. And
It
we that
alchemizes.
it absolutely it transmutes. It creates the nourishment for more growth. But we get really upset. Why? Because human life is at stake. Homes are being burned down, right? And then we're also worried about Bambi and the birds and everything else, right? But again, when we step out of recognizing that we have to save another being because we don't have to, because everybody's sovereign, when we really are all like, hey, your choice, you decided to be that, and I love you, and let
So
it
I
be.
I met a gentleman this weekend. It was all about saving the rainforest, right? So, for $25 a month, you can save the rainforest, whatever, right? And I looked at him and I said, I saved the earth in my way.
Mhm.
You saved the earth in yours. I said, when I do a meditation with people, I remind them that they're breathing in oxygen given to them by the plants, and they exhale what the plants need. That we
Right.
live symbiotically with Mother Nature, with every breath we take. By reminding people of that during meditation, I am serving Mother Earth.
Which is interesting when you think about if you were to just breathe in your own carbon dioxide, like it could actually kind of kill
Kill,
you.
kind of kill you? Yes, kind of.
It can kind of kill you. And yet, I love that you're speaking to this. Our toxic exhale that could kill us is serving for the plants and the earth. I mean, like that's the essence of this, that everything is serving and it's all part of the
Right.
cycle of life.
Right. And so he was going on and on about the plastic in the ocean. And the thought came to me, and I'm like, and then the second thought was, don't waste your time with this salesman. Right. So so I didn't. But did you know that there has been Mother Earth has created a moss that dissolves and eats the plastic?
Which it wouldn't have created if there wasn't plastic there.
Right. But she's
It's
taking care of herself.
exactly. Yeah. Which is what our bodies do. I mean, that's the
Yes.
thing, we get a new liver every 7 years kind of thing, right? Well, the only reason that people end up having liver disease is because they treat it the same way, right? The idea is that when you choose, right, to be sovereign and accountable, empowered and responsible, you create everything as it has the potential to be
If you
in
see yourself healthy and
exactly
perfect, your body will
in
strive to
balance.
get there.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting again, because the conversation in another meeting was about, um, and I didn't realize that one of the women in the group was actually dieting. And I said, I had a woman that I was working with, and weight was one of her concerns. And she was like, "Oh, I had a fistful of, I don't know, M&Ms or whatever the other day, feeling deal." I said, "Listen, what if you said to yourself, I always make healthy choices, no matter what you pick up. And if you look at that fistful of M&Ms and you say, I always make healthy choices for my body, two things will happen. One is your body will process that sugar differently than it does right now, and it will process that sugar in a healthy way.
Hmm.
That will absolutely happen. And number two, the next time you might not pick up the M&Ms, you might pick up an apple instead."
Yeah. Well, I think about Bob Hope and George Burns a lot when I think about the concept of smoking. And they were famous for smoking their cigars and they lived to be over 100. So I don't know if they died of lung cancer. It doesn't matter to me. They lived to be over 100, which is exceptionally long for most humans.
Right.
Why is that somebody else dies of lung cancer in their 40s or 50s or 60s?
Because they expect to.
Exactly. And I do believe that the same point that you're making around this concept of loving the M&Ms is about saying that I love having this cigarette or I love having this whatever. You know, it's so interesting to think about buying organic food, wild pasture raised meats. I mean, there are ways that we can choose to eat healthy. And at the same time, we can take anything, put our love, our attention into it. If you have Reiki in your field, and even if you don't know what Reiki is, if
You
you,
have Reiki in your field.
yes, everybody has Reiki in your field
Thank
because
you.
exactly, because you said
You
exactly.
exist.
Well, and gratitude.
Yes.
Gratitude, that is going to heal all relationships.
I have a friend who said with when she cooks, and she's an amazing cook, she puts love and appreciation into every ingredient
Absolutely.
as she goes along.
Yeah.
Thank you, wheat for giving me the flour. Thank you,
Hmm.
workers who ground it up. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I so appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right. And then I have friends who pray over their meals
Yeah.
before they eat. Again, it's thank you, animal for dying for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right. Um, it's not a religious thing. It's an honoring of the energy that you are consuming,
Absolutely.
because we all give off and consume energy.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's
Well,
how
that's that
this
other,
third dimension exists.
exactly. And that is what, that's exactly it. The third dimension. If we were in another dimension and we were light, we wouldn't need food. We wouldn't have physical
There
intimacy.
are breatharians on this earth right now.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
that's all that is necessary to exist because they choose that. Again,
right,
back to choice.
right, right, right. I had a friend who went on a fast. He did have water, but for 30 days.
Hmm.
30 days. And, you know, I tell myself I can't fast for 3 days, right? Because I want that food. But I
Right.
know that's my choice,
Exactly. Well, like you
right?
just said, I tell myself I can't. That's
Right,
what we're always telling ourselves what we can and can't do. That is
right,
that's the bottom line.
right, right, right. And so if I don't know. So I'll share another story. And this one also has been shared about how miraculous our energy is. I think it was 13. Um, I lived inner city, and I would imagine as I was sleeping that I was a cat, and I would walk the neighborhood to make sure everyone was okay. And I had happened to mention to a friend of mine, like, yeah, I pretend that I'm doing this just to make sure everyone is okay. So one night I looked in her bedroom window to make sure she was okay and went on my way. The next day, she said, were you looking in the window?
Wow. Ooh.
And I went, yes. She said, don't do it again. You scared me.
Oh.
That is how much you can throw your energy. You can create physical manifestation by
Hmm.
throwing your energy.
Hmm. Well,
Uh,
here's the thing. We're all throwing our energy. It's actually the state of our condition. Everything back to from within,
Everything
everything
exists because I'm throwing my energy, making it exist.
exactly. So
Yeah,
we're all rippling outward. You know,
right.
it was interesting. I was having a conversation today with somebody who was talking about how their beloved, said something, but then didn't really mean it, and kind of did that thing where, you go, just kidding, right? Whether it's a joke or whether you're acting from a state of discontent and then you recognize, oh, wow, I didn't really mean to say that. The key here is that we are all expressing and offering based on how we're feeling. They are one and
Yes,
the same. And
yes.
so, again, taking accountability and responsibility for feeling uncomfortable and being vulnerable to say, I'm uncomfortable, I'm sad, I'm I'm feeling whatever, blah, 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 versus being reactive and with our words and our energy, then literally attacking someone. Like
And then
this is
pulling back,
happening and then pulling back. And I mean,
right?
this is essentially the foundation of war on our planet.
Well, yes. And a lot of that comes, my big thing this year is division is the problem.
Hmm.
And governments perpetuate division, right? And that division is a cancer,
Absolutely.
right?
Mhm.
And again, this person who was yelling at me a few weeks ago had issue with that, right?
Mhm.
And it's like, it's okay, you can have issue with that, but honor that that's my opinion.
Well,
Eh,
again, we're back to truth, right? I mean,
right,
there are so many layers to truth, and it all depends on who you follow. Are
right,
you listening to, this radio news station or that television news station or this media outlet?
right.
There are sources that there are people that speak into it's even beyond our planet's government. It's beyond the government. It's like something from another planet. It's from another dimension. I mean, you could go way down the rat hole
You love that.
of of awareness into what we are navigating in this human experience.
Right, because it's all a story. There's a book that
Absolutely.
was recently written, and I don't remember the title of it, but the author basically says that control in governments were created when man learned to tell stories
Hmm.
and discovered that through telling stories, they could control the masses. And there's a number that you can control. right? And that's why you build, the like the multi, the MLMs, your government's an MLM, right? Right?
Mhm.
Not
Yep.
new. It's not new.
Well, you talk about, yeah, like there's someone at the top, and then
Right.
there's all of the people that kind of work through
That
that. I mean,
perpetuate the lies, right?
exactly.
That
Yep.
perpetuate the story. Okay.
Yep.
Um, and and then if you take that and you attach my belief to that, which is it's all a story and I can change it. And I've been experimenting on this road trip and I have watched myself change situations that would typically go south and remain south
Hmm.
because it's like, you have permission to feel and do whatever feels right to you. I have no qualms with that. I still love you, even if you're making a fucked up choice. That's from my perspective, and
Yeah.
I have no business interfering in your life.
Well, this is back to the idea that we're the actor, right? We're
Yeah,
the actor, we're the choreographer, we're the producer, we're the
yeah,
director. We are the ones that's running the show. So it
yeah,
doesn't even matter what anybody else says or does anyway until you decide if you're going to make a change. Like
right.
everything is, when it comes down to it, everything that happens is a result of you giving permission, giving away your
Permissions.
power, giving away your trust, like
Yeah.
believing in something outside of yourself.
And for me, it's been I love you, and you can disappear from my life or not. I'm okay either way.
Well, I would say just even stopping at I love you. It's that idea of I love you, right? And
Right?
it's like because that there's no attachment. I mean,
Yeah,
I think that's another big piece of us, uh, especially those of us that desire for a better life, for a better planet, for a better whatever. We're attached. We're attached to everybody else's outcome.
right.
So when we
And
come from love and surrender and non-attachment, then we're allowing everybody to have their experience.
right.
If we're remembering to recognize, to remember that everybody chose their story,
Yeah.
why would you fixing their story be serving for them?
It's not. It's
Exactly.
not, you know.
Exactly.
So I've got another story for you. So I lived for a while. My daughter and I bought a house together, and I was fixing her all the time.
Mm,
And the universe finally said, "Stop. You're not allowing her to grow."
yeah.
So then what happened is I would literally lean forward, getting ready to tell her something, and I would stop. And so I was
Mhm.
doing this jerky thing, right, while we're holding a conversation. And finally she goes, "Mom, are you okay?"
You're like, why do you keep like are you having some kind of
Right? She's like,
spasm? You're like, no,
hilarious.
I'm just trying to keep from controlling your life.
Yes. Well, in a way, I said, no, what I'm doing is I'm about to give you some advice.
Mm,
And then I realize that it might be the right advice for me, but
right.
not for you. And so to sit back and let you figure it out for yourself, I will hold space, but I am not going to give you advice. And so even when she asks for advice, my response is, I don't know what's right for you. Only you know what's right for you. What are you feeling?
Yeah.
And she'll deflect that. She's still deflecting the feeling, because she doesn't want to go there yet, with the choices she has to make because of what she's feeling, right? But it's none of my business. Yes, she's my daughter, but she's an adult.
Yes.
None of my business anymore.
Well, I mean, in a way, it's almost this idea too that we're responsible for our children. I mean, yes, in this system legally till they're 18, okay? But really, are we responsible? We're a vehicle. I was listening to Mickey Singer, love him so much, the author of Untethered Soul. I love how he calls himself
Mm,
Mickey. And the idea of you don't make a baby. You don't make a baby. Are you thinking about putting those organs together and exactly sewing it, piecing it together? No, you don't make a baby. You allow for this being to create itself as an expression of God in your body.
And not even that. Again, today is very strange. Um, I mentioned that my daughter, her soul screamed to me long before I was ever pregnant.
Mhm.
Her soul was calling to me, and I was in a marriage that should have ended.
Yeah.
And and I got pregnant because she was calling to me. With or without him, I was going to have her with or without him because it was her job, her demand to come. And it was, I could taste it. It was really weird, right? My son, um, his was like a soft nudging whisper.
Mm.
But both of them I saw when I was like 20 in a meditation.
Oh, wow.
I saw me and the two of them, no husband. And I knew that that's ultimately where my life was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the connections that happen. I mean, I was married to a woman and her brother was our donor. And then she passed away when our daughter was 2. And I mean, we had our marriage, we had our 4-year relationship. It was cancer and lots of other things. And the thing is that I believe because it takes a sperm and an egg, at least on this planet, in this third dimensional reality, to create the opportunity for a human being to be born. And we don't need to
Hmm.
get into the logistics of how, but the point is that's basically, we can't do it with 2 eggs. Like that's not going to happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No matter how
So
much time you're pregnant,
exactly, exactly.
they're
I
gonna break.
do really feel that I was married to the person that was going to bring our daughter onto the planet by means of her family dynamic.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't even that I was meant to be with him or meant to be with her. We were meant to put my daughter on the planet. However you want to look at that. And that all
Yeah.
of us played a role.
I have a dear friend who has an adopted child. He's now 5, and she's done a really good job of allowing him to stay open, right? And he has said to her, oops, my hand raised up. No, very interesting.
You just switched on my screen. I was like, what happened there? Those funny reactions, right? Have
He
you
has
seen
said
the
to
one with the
her,
thumb?
I had to fight my way to come here for you this time.
Mm,
You were my mom many times before. I like this one better. You're
mm,
the best version so far.
wow.
And he said, we will be together again.
Hmm.
And then he told her about about a month ago, not quite a month ago. In 40 days when the earth splits, we will be together.
Oh, wow. Oh, my
And
God.
then he looked at her and he goes, well, it's more like 1,000. And then he went to
40, 1,000
right, right. Well, time doesn't matter in a
in the
right.
ethereal. No,
Yeah.
it doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't exist. So, and he has told her some very profound things, and her and I talk about them afterwards. Um, and he is meant to be someone. She knows that when he's 12, he's going to go through a transition, and 16 is when he's going to finalize his spiritual growth and be
Mm,
something special.
wow.
Yeah. But he tells her all the time that they have lived many lifetimes together and they will do it again.
Well, there's a movie called Cloud Atlas. Have you ever heard of that movie? It was
Yes.
yeah, with Tom Hanks and Halle Berry.
Yeah.
And they actually depict what you're talking about, like
Yeah.
different time. I mean, it's all earth-based experience basically, but where they're also in different gender roles. You know,
Yes.
Lee
Yes.
Harris in his book The Future Human talks about the trans experience and we're really in it at this time on the planet. And I'm not going to take a side. I'm not going to speak into any of that. I'm going to say that when we look at this existence as one of many different forms, that we're at a time that we're coming into oneness.
Yes.
And I really do feel that the trans community is leading us towards that, and that at some point we won't need to change our physicality because everyone will recognize we're all one
So, and again, we'll go into the dragons, and then we need to cut this short because we can go like crazy. And I
forever.
wasn't going to, but we're going to. Um, so I work every once in a while with a gentleman who's an amazing spiritualist, and I am the dragon energy, and that's why I talk about the dragons. And um, I'm we were talking about my dragon, and he said, "So what's your dragon's name?" And I said, when I asked, my dragon said, "There is no name. There's no need for a name." And I was like, okay. And then I mentioned to him later, I said, my dragon changes sex. Sometimes it's a male, sometimes it's a female, sometimes it's just an it, right?
Mhm.
So when we were done, he said, the third dimension is the only one where there is sex or names.
Defined,
Yes,
defined.
any
Yeah.
other dimension from the fourth on. So I am communicating with this dragon at a different dimension,
Hmm.
not in this dimension, though the dragons do exist. We just can't see them,
Right.
right? Um, so I find that really interesting because when I talk about dimensions, I'm writing a book, I'm almost done, about dragons and the dimensions they come from and
Very
the
cool.
gifts that they bring from those dimensions. So I'm exploring the dimensions in the book, and it's fascinating.
Well, it's funny when we talked a little bit about this. We're raised in this world of what's real and what's make believe, right? Dragons and witches and fairies and giants and right, all of that magic. It's hysterical, actually, because all of that is real and all of what we've been indoctrinated to believe is real, we
Is
make
an
up.
illusion.
Right. Like,
It's the
wow, when
movie,
you really drop into that and you say, wow, let's just blow my mind because it's all twisted and upside down.
right? Right,
Yeah.
right. And I said this the other day in a Facebook Live, just for chuckles. Take a look at something that you believe is true and look at the opposite as being true
Yep.
and see which one really makes sense,
Exactly.
just
Well,
for
and
chuckles.
feel it. I mean, feel it.
Mm.
This is a big part of our human condition is we have disconnected from our feeling sense. It's interesting. I run this program called Sacred Connection, and I wrote a book called Sacred Connection. And the other day, I dropped in and I felt into pondering what if sacred connection means disconnection? So we really can only get to a true sacred connection with self and God when we disconnect
From here.
from here, from the matrix, from
Hmm.
whatever word you want to call it. I mean, and yet we're here, we chose to be here. So how do we meld through?
But here's the matrix is a lie because because the universal mind, which is
Right.
is where we come from, is controlling us. That's us controlling us.
Absolutely.
So
Well, that's
that's
the thing. It's all embedded within, embedded within it. Like you look at the mirror when you look at a
yes,
certain
yes, yes,
angle and
yes,
you're
yes,
like, you see forever. Yeah.
yes.
I mean, there's this place of one getting a grip on the fact that we are here of our own choice and we have given away our power to the powers that be. But then beyond that, there's the power over the powers that be. And then beyond that is it's all one anyway.
All the power that ever was and ever will be
Yeah. Yeah.
is here.
Right. And it's again back to what? Back to the one, back to
Right?
us,
Yep, yep.
trusting
Yeah.
in us,
And it's all from within.
all from within,
It,
back to the beginning.
it's all
It's all
from
one big
within.
circle.
It's one big circle, right? So, and I love that I could talk to you forever, but if people still want to get in touch with you, how would they do that?
Very simply, thelotuspath.love. That is the best way to find me. Everything that I offer, there's a way to connect with me directly. And I'm all over social media: LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I even got a TikTok situation going on. And that's the help of my 14-year-old. And the Love Messenger. You'll find me everywhere as Anne the Love Messenger and thelotuspath.love.
Awesome. And all of that will be in the notes. And thank you, everyone, for listening to the Empowering Process podcast. If you like this, give us a thumbs up. If you know someone who could maybe get something out of this, just share it out to them. And as always, please do subscribe so you know when the next episode is available. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Empowering Process podcast. Be sure to visit Gail at gailcraft.com to learn more about how she serves thought leaders, entrepreneurs, and goal seekers. And remember, if you like this broadcast, be sure to share and subscribe so you don't miss an episode.